Make it 4 wins in a row as the Raptors beat the Minnesota Timberwolves 125-102. I'm Randy Urban, and welcome to Raptors Night Cap. Tonight we're joined by Leo Rautins, the coach, Jack Armstrong, the professor. Well, you were the professor the other night, Jack, but Paul Jones, the principal, actually, I should say.
I get demoted?
Yeah.
No, you're the professor and principal.
Yeah. You were a principal. You were a professor first. Well, a teacher first. Professor, teacher, same thing.
He's smart.
Let's just say you got
How
some
smart I was, I'm here now.
That's all right, let's talk about the game because, Minnesota punched first. The Raptors punched back, Jonesy, in that second quarter. What happened?
I thought, during the first quarter, I was watching that, the words of our man Jack Armstrong were ringing in my head. They were down like 13-6, 13-7. Nick called the first time out. And I thought Jack put it really well in the last episode we had, that sometimes the Raptors, they come out a little too cool for school at home. And they wait till they're slapped. Sorry, Will Smith. They wait till they're hit in the face before they hit back. And I tell you what, in the second quarter, they really turned up the defense.
Yeah.
I thought they did a nice job. Guys coming in off the bench. I thought Precious did a nice job. Yep. They turned up the intensity, and they got the lead by halftime. And whatever it was, rode them into the third quarter and for the duration of the game. And it was interesting, too. Nick Nurse making the move to put Scotty Barnes on the bench at the start of the half.
But you know what you're going to see now, people will make a big deal of something like that.
It's not.
You know what? That's business.
Yeah.
Right? Hey,
His loyalty is to winning.
You got a group that's rolling. Roll with it. And they came out in the third quarter and they rolled.
Yeah.
And it's Scotty Barnes, to his credit, when he did come back in and play, he played at a different level. And that's what it's all about.
Two-part motivational tool.
100%.
Player's butt, coach's
Hey, how
bench.
many rookies come into this league and they just play no matter what?
Yeah.
Right? And they develop bad habits. They don't ever reach their potential.
Good point.
Scotty's got to come and play, or even if you're in a candidate in the conversation of Rookie of the Year, sit down.
Yeah.
Nurse has done that a couple times.
Well, there's accountability here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because he's coming in on a winning team, and there are guys around him that are great role models. I said it on the air tonight. I mean, if you play with, look at like Thaddeus Young and OG Anunoby, how hard they were playing, pretty much at his position. And I'm like, hey, man, you can't take plays off. Yeah. And that's part of, when you're a young player, these games just keep coming at you left, right, and center. And it's a big part of the maturity process. So I'd rather him learn his lesson tonight than on April 17th or whenever, when they're in the first round of the playoffs. And to, Jonesy's point about coming out a little flat, you know what? The one thing for the Raptors is they're not going to open up at home, most likely, in the playoffs, unless they sink and play in the play-in game where they would host. The first 2 games are going to be on the road, and then the other teams coming in here for a game 3 and 4 in a playoff situation, it's a little different. It's not like cruising into a regular season game. It's like, bang, we got to come at you. So, again, I think these are all good lessons.
Were you surprised at sort of the lack of response Minnesota gave back?
Yes and no. Like, for me, I see Minnesota as one of those teams. They're pretty good front runners.
Yeah, that's what I said to someone
They're
today,
pretty good front runners. And I just thought, if you think of a movie set, it looks good, and then you break through the saloon doors and there's nothing there, right? And
It's a good description.
And at times, like Beverly was making noise and Towns was driving, and it looked good. There was a lot of action, and then once Toronto reeled them in and started to really hit them, they didn't. As you said, there wasn't much of a response at times.
After the first quarter, Toronto held Minnesota to 35% from the field.
Right.
They dominated them. The defense was just at a whole nother level, Leo.
Well, in that first quarter, like you talk about, Minnesota's driving where they want, they go where they want, right? You just can't play that way. And the same thing, that's how Boston started out. So you're going, come on. But then all of a sudden you see, boom, let's play. Let's get into it. And when the Raptors, it's scary how quickly they can turn a game.
Yes.
Like that third quarter, you just see they just came out and said, enough. And it was enough. That was it. That was the game right there, right? And it's scary how quickly that can happen with this group.
And they're really finding that killer instinct at home here these last 4 games, right? To be able, you want to be able to step on someone's throat in these moments. And I like when they do that. I like when they did that today because Minnesota.
I like the fact that they're getting their floor spacers back.
Yeah.
OG.
Yeah.
Gary Trent Jr.
They made 10 threes tonight.
And Pascal didn't have his usual high productive offensive game from a scoring standpoint. I mean, he had career high 13 assists, had the triple double with the rebounds. He was finding other ways to impact the game. But when he gets into the lane or gets any kind of penetration and you start pitching it out, now you've got OG, you've got Gary Trent. How many times tonight did we see the classic drive, kick, swing, and the guy was shot ready? OG was knocking him down. Gary Trent was knocking him down. Like, they just make the extra pass, and that's good offense when it's going.
Jack, so many guys had superb games tonight. Jonesy mentioned a few, but who stood out to you?
Well, obviously Jonesy mentioned Trent and OG, and we talked about Pascal. A few guys. I mean, to me, like Fred VanVleet was all over the place defensively as the game went on.
Yeah.
He really became a pest for Towns. And then Thad Young and Precious Achiuwa off the bench played with force, shot the ball, played really hard. Those are the guys that jumped off the page at me.
Yeah, and Fred really was laughing off some of the stuff that Beverly was trying to do, right? And I like that. You don't see Fred show a lot of emotion, but today I like that. I like that kind of response, even that no response.
To me, that was a bit of a message to Beverly, like, man, I know your act.
Yeah.
Like, I know what this is about.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take the bait and get under my skin and start going one-on-one.
How many guys know the act?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. He still gets under the
Exactly. And Fred, to his credit, said, no, you know what? I've seen it go the wrong way with a lot of guys. And as Jack said, he started to play the defense on people, get up on people, pound them, pester them. He's capable of doing that.
When people look at his game, there's statistically no one's going to say a lot about Fred. But in that third quarter, Fred was a big reason this game went all Raptors' way. The guy finishes with 5 steals, right? Almost a double-double in terms of assists and points. And but his toughness, like just dealing with a Beverly, dealing with a situation, getting him.
Even the last game when he didn't shoot a great percentage-wise the whole game.
When did he make his threes?
Exactly. He made them when it counted, and they were pivotal. But Leo, just about Thad Young, Jack mentioned him. That move really starting to pay off. He's feeling so comfortable.
Hey, the guy's a veteran. He knows how to play. Like we've all joked about it. Like every time we watch him play, he'd look good with us.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And he does. Right. And last game he had a huge impact. And here's the funny thing. Everybody's talking about, you got a guy that can't shoot. You got a guy that can't score. Well, apparently that's not quite the way it's playing out, right? He was a big impact in the game scoring last game. And just I think his presence at both ends of the floor just makes a big difference.
I just think when a guy understands how to play and understands the moment too, like, what do they teach you in biddy ball, right? When a guy's tight on you, beat him on the dribble. He beats the guy, the help doesn't come. He's like, well, I'm not passing this. And it turns into a dunk that has the whole bench up. And those are big plays, especially at home. You get the crowd into it. He's a vet. He really understands how to play.
What did they do against Towns that was effective? He had 16, only took 13 shots. Slowed him down a little bit.
I think early on he was having his way.
Yeah.
He got the better of Scotty Barnes on a few matchups. They started sending the double when he was on the side. In the middle of the floor, he's hard to do that too because he's such a good passer and he can get by on the bounce. But when the ball was in the paint, in the post area, or even if he's on the wing, I thought Fred VanVleet would come from like his backside and rip down and strip. They'd send multiple bodies, and he doesn't want to pass it. He wants to score.
Yeah.
I mean, but he's a willing passer.
Raptors made him a passer.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do with him because he actually has like Giannis type of ability to when he gets hit, he beats you down and he puts the ball on the floor.
Skilled.
But if you get that ball out of his hands, force him to get to somebody else, it changes his game dramatically.
But I would say the one thing with him too, with that, Leo, is the fact that when you do send a second defender at him, instead of him saying, all right, I'm getting rid of it, he holds it a little longer.
Yes.
And now, that's when turnovers can happen because if you bring the ball down and then the offense kind of loses its pop, you know. But
He's not relishing the opportunity to move it and make other people better.
And maybe get
He's
it
more
back.
disappointed that
Yeah.
he can't do what he wants to do.
bang.
Yeah.
And as soon as he blends the two, where I'm a scorer, but I can also create, his game will change.
Well,
even more.
and that's what we're seeing from 43 in the red.
100%.
And Nick has always said that. When you've drawn a second defender, you've done your job.
Get rid of it.
Get rid of it. Don't make the home run pass either, right? And I wish the NBA, and you can look it up on
Yeah, the
NBA.com.
Gretzky assist.
I'd love to see them chart the hockey assists. You know, because how many times tonight did the Raptors get that drive, kick, boom, swing to a guy who's waiting?
All 18 threes were assisted on.
Yeah.
That's remarkable.
Yeah, that is remarkable.
Jack, you're not eating the cheese.
Yeah, Jack, we got that just for you.
I know.
He doesn't want to eat on camera, you know.
No.
Jack, come on. You don't like
Oh, no,
Bavardi?
I have a blood test in the morning.
Oh,
I think
okay.
you're supposed to
I-
fast for
No,
12
I
hours.
think
before
Swiss is good for the blood.
Well, no, I don't. I just
That's
I had my physical.
I'm trying to
last
enhance
week,
my
everything
blood
went
right
great.
now. You know?
And,
Antioxidant,
you
Leo?
I gotta
Yeah.
you got to do the blood test
Yeah.
to follow up the physical.
I want to see if it's
So
really
you're not
blood.
supposed to eat or drink other than water for 12 hours.
Okay, all right. Well,
Kitchen
then-
crew.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
Ross,
yeah.
Ross, kitchen
Are
crew.
you okay?
I'm fine. I'm
Are
doing
you sure
great.
you're okay?
I'm great, but the crew can have
Yeah,
something to eat. Don't worry, believe me. If the next time I'm here, I'll be eating everything.
All right. This is a huge win. They're knocking on the door fifth. Cleveland lost.
Yeah. Cleveland lost, no Mobley.
For a few more games, too.
Yeah. See if you can run down Chicago and
Tied right now with them.
hang on. Fifth would be great. Fifth would be
You know
great.
what I'm curious about? Who wants to finish first? Who wants to play Brooklyn? Right? Think about it.
I
Who
think
wants
Brooklyn
to-
will be seventh, though.
Okay, all right. Well, then who wants to be finished second?
Yeah, not me.
Right? That's one of those things where, we might be seeing everybody in the last couple of days, win this one, lose that one. Everything's intentional because you just don't want to be in that situation.
Now, I'll say one last thing to that. I mean, the Lakers have been a dumpster fire, but if they were to have a healthy Anthony Davis, would you want to play them in the
No.
first
So-
round?
Hell no.
So let's go over this. And we were talking with your man Jim Peterson, Leo, TV for Minnesota. I think it's kind of unfair that the Timberwolves now, they lose tonight. So what, 9 games over 500 could be in a one and done scenario.
yeah.
Like you play 82 games and you finish 8, 9, 10 games over
See, that's
500.
why I'm a fan of the play-in if you're
Modified.
If you're not in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Or if you're in the playoffs, you worked all season to be 7 or 8, and then now you got to fight for it.
I'd modify it. If you're in 9 or 10 and you're within 5 games of 8,
Man,
you get to play.
they're not good.
Baby powder.
Staying
They're
tuned.
not that good.
Right?
Oh, yeah,
not-
baby
it's not
powder.
Baby powder.
It's not worth that much. You got
Hey,
that at
everybody at home, you get oil, grease, put baby powder on, let it sit for a while, it'll just take it right out.
I think you should be within
Nightcap.
within 5
It's a
games.
second-hand shirt. I know it's your brother's shirt. Anyway, you probably borrowed it from him.
Christian, make sure you get it back, okay? Like, put it back in the closet. It's not yours. He's like, Christian's like, I would never wear something
He wouldn't
like
wear
that.
such a low-cut shirt.
You're pretty confident in yourself.
You are cheap, man. We know that.
What?
You are cheap, we know that.
Oh, we're off the rails, folks.
We're getting a lot of comments on the show about you, okay? So let's
Like
not
what?
talk
Like
about your eating habits. You triple dipped
What do you mean by eating habits?
You triple dipped a carrot last
Wait,
time.
hold on. It's not triple dipping if you're the only one dipping.
Well, no one's
can dip
dipping.
all
It
you
was the
want.
beginning of the show.
Huh?
Turn the backside?
I would if you were eating,
Okay.
but you're not. So this is my, look, hey, watch. This is me. Nobody else is dipping, so I can.
Relax. I mean, don't be
One.
so. Let the guy. It's his meal. Let him eat.
Two.
Why don't you have some cheese, Jack? Come on.
I can't.
It's all good.
Someone said, Ryan Donovan says Leo needs to order steaks for playoff nightcaps.
A what?
Steak for playoff nightcaps.
Love it. Count me in.
You know what? I'd like to know where my sushi went. I'd rather have sushi than steak, to be honest with you.
There hasn't
You know,
been sushi in a while.
No.
I don't
And,
eat sushi. So yeah, steak is good for me.
you're a good Irish guy. You like the meat and
steak and
potatoes.
potatoes.
I'll take the sushi, seafood. Jonesy, she's like, you're good with the wings and the cauliflower.
Good with anything, man.
Before we go, I really want to ask: is LA going to make the playoffs? Lakers
Good luck.
The play in?
play in.
No.
They're not even going to make the play
I don't
in.
think so.
LeBron going to stick around?
Honestly, I think maybe I haven't said it on this show, but I'll say it now.
Yeah.
I've said it on other shows. If I were the Lakers, I'd consider strongly trading Anthony Davis because he's always hurt. As good as he is, and he's one of the best players in the league, they're stuck. They have no draft picks. The Russell Westbrook thing, I don't know how they get out of this.
Anthony Davis, this is a guy making $200 million. He's never done anything without LeBron. On his own, right? And now, like I said, you're paying big money to a guy that will play at best, 60% of your games? Come on.
Didn't
Come on.
Charles Barkley call him Street Clothes Davis?
Yeah.
To me,
All airport team. Remember Dick Vitale? Look good in the airport.
All airport.
Because the Lakers, before LeBron got there, had a long stretch without making the playoffs.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, LeBron is an older guy now. The way their cap is set up and the way their draft picks are set up, they're going to have a long stretch after he leaves where they don't make the playoffs.
Which is, Jack, honestly,
I would turn Anthony Davis into an asset.
that's the cost of doing business with LeBron, right? It's the here and now.
Yeah.
And you
But
blow
okay,
up what's
now
in front of you.
are you going to go out and pay that money for Anthony Davis and realize that, like I said, you may have him on the floor 60% of the time?
Somebody will. Portland would.
Somebody, it's the NBA. Somebody
Plenty
will.
of teams will
Yeah.
trade
But,
for him.
Well, it takes one.
that's not what I'm looking for, right? I want a guy that's going to be out there every day, right?
Yeah, you do.
Like you.
That's right.
You're
baby.
out there every day.
I'm here every
You're
day.
out there every day,
grinding
brother.
with
You don't,
guys.
Food on the shirt, no.
That's right. And you know what the best thing is? He's going to wear that shirt tomorrow and without cleaning
on,
the
man.
stain either.
Come on, man.
We know you.
Hey,
all right.
flying back there. All right, next game for the Raptors goes Friday night in Orlando against the Magic. Tip-off goes at 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll see you after the game.